Welcome to this, edition number 7 of The Good Grapevine, all the news that's fit to print. Coming up in this edition, stories first and last from Greece, Puerto Rico, and some stories for foodies from the south of Italy. First off, let's check in on the island of Mykonos with a dear friend and client, Dione Podaras Alahas, as she releases her first book in 2 languages, English and Greek. Dione's special not only because she's one of my most successful stories on the planet as personal training client, but also a dear friend and, I can say honestly, my healer. Her hands go beyond pills, potions, and hands-on manipulation because she truly has the power to heal through motility and mobility, some very unique concepts to us in the West. Let's check in with Dione in my tea-infused kitchen, my little cottage in Mykonos, Greece. I don't get an opportunity a lot to interview an author who has 2 versions of the same book, English and Greek, but my good friend Dione Podaras Alahas has written this amazing book. And before I tell you about the book, could you please tell us about the organization that you created that the book benefits before she even wrote the book, not to make a cent or a euro of profit from this book?
It just came to my attention through my clients that there was a big need for people to have psychological support and some support who were dealing with cancer. So that's how it started, and it was great that there was a group of incredible people, and we managed to make this association. We're still trying to do preventative talks and to add nutrition, new ways of relaxing, to do courses about how to stop smoking, and to do various other things. We've still got a lot of work to do, but it's great to feel that as a group we can do a little bit to help other people.
There is such a need in the world for this book. It is called Your Body Speaks to You. Listen in both English version and Greek version with a wonderful chapter testimonial by your mom. This is Dione, as I mentioned, short for Dionysia, the island physical therapist on Mykonos. But in addition to being a certified physical therapist from Guy's School in London, in addition to being a certified massage therapist where you've given your massages world renowned, in addition to being a speaker, she has been invited by the Idea Association in Palm Springs 2012, I believe,
Yes.
talking about alternative self-healing and alternative strategies towards healing and wellness. You do more than just lay your hands on people and move oil around the skin and fix a shoulder that might have a rotator cuff. What do you do with your hands?
Well, over the years it has evolved, so I use the knowledge that I have gained and obtained from all my clients, because each client teaches you something. So I use my massage skills, my cranial sacral skills, my visceral manipulation skills, and my energy Reiki skills. So gradually that evolved, and I actually started to find over the past 20 years that as I would run my hand over a client, I would be attracted to specific areas. And when I mean attracted, I mean, like if you've ever played with magnets, and it's like sometimes there's a sensation of pull and sometimes of pushing away. That's exactly what I'm feeling.
I have goosebumps while she tells the story, and I'll tell you my experience in a minute. So your hands feel attraction.
So my hand can be attracted to a chakra, which are energy fields, usually in a rotatory fashion. It could be attracted to a meridian, to an organ. It can be off the body, it can be on the body. So it really depends. And each time I've learned over the years not to go with a preconceived idea and just let myself completely free and to feel what I'm picking up. As not a doctor, what I realized is that I'm not in a place to do a diagnosis, but many times having the advantage of finding something energetically, it can actually help my clients. So maybe 6 months down the line, they'll come to me, or even a year later, they'll say, do you remember you said this? Well, I went to the doctor and I had this.
And it's all connected, isn't
And
it?
it's
The energy to the physical.
Everything is connected. And this is one of the reasons why I wrote the book, because nutrition, exercise, breath, the way one thinks, these are all very, very important factors. And this is what I want the message to go to the general public. It's very important that you try and combine. And as therapists, we don't heal. We help push the person to do their own healing. It's very important that each person takes the responsibility to eat better, to think better, and of course, each person has their own belief systems. So
Sure.
it has to suit each person,
Right.
and each person is a unique person.
And learn how to look at yourself through the choices that you make to make the
Definitely.
best healing choices
And
possible.
I think this is exactly goes to prove your point over the years when you've been training me and you have been helping me with lots of different ways to learn how to take responsibility in the choices of whether to go for a chocolate bar or to go for something healthier.
An apple.
And I'm still trying that.
So yes, I have been privileged to be Dione's physical personal trainer for the last few years, but when I've been treated to an amazing gift for my birthday or a special gift for a special event in my life, I'll lay on a red couch, because I have a red couch, or go to your office when she wears a lab coat, and she'll put her hands over me, and I have felt manipulation of chakras or areas. I have felt heat under her arms or hands. I have felt organs, and she's told me what organs they were. I didn't really know where the spleen was exactly till I felt it slightly move and shift. Lots of gurgles whenever you put your hands over me, lots of gurgling and lots of energy and meridians unblock. And I know other people have had similar experiences. And that's interesting for me because for the skeptic, I don't believe until I see. I could say I don't believe until I felt. And I feel the power, if you want to use that word, or the energy, vibration of your hands without ever her hands going on me, unless it's for a physical therapist or a massage therapy intervention. I don't think I've ever taken a whole hour massage from you, but that's something we can look forward to. The last thing I want to say about what you do is I think it's fascinating is because we live on Mykonos, and on this small island of Mykonos, like many islands, you're only subject to what's available for you. And while we have health centers, there's no one major hospital that's 24/7 all trauma center. And so on an island where people might have questions, Dione, could this be energy? Could this be serious? What do you think? She doesn't diagnose, but she tells you what what her hands feel. And I will say that your hands are never wrong. And that's an interesting talent to be certified in what you do, physical therapy and school and Reiki and massage therapy, but there's so much more. Tell us about the Kirlian photography of your hand.
Yes, I had, when I was feeling various things, so I thought, I want to prove this. Years ago. So I went to a place where they took this Kirlian photography. It was very interesting, and it shows the little sparks, etc. So generally, what one of the teachers sort of said is that the majority of people do have the ability to heal. Of course, when you're working like 12 to 13 hours doing the same thing, I think you become more sensitive. And if you have a passion and you love what you're doing, then of course it becomes more pronounced.
You keep thinking that. I think it's a gift. But your hands of the Kirlian photography takes pictures of even chakras, right? Your hands are really vibrant and beyond.
It was. And of course, as everything, there's always room for improvement and for learning a lot more.
Sure.
So that's one of the reasons why I'm learning iridology. So that'll be fun this winter.
The next big thing. So the book in Greek is called?
Το σώμα σου μιλάει, άκουσέ το. Your body speaks.
Listen. And it's available through findlawrence.com. To reach Dione, you can also find her on my website as part of my group, findlawrence.com, under the group Fitness Group 2000. Dione is an amazing friend. She's an amazing colleague, but actually she's a healer. And there aren't a lot of people I've met in my life that I could say, you know what? She's the real deal, because I felt it and I've been there and I'm here. Sad to leave Mykonos once in a while because we see each other every day. If not, we hear each other every day when we're here. Good luck, continued good luck with the book. Thank you so much for bringing this association to Mykonos and supporting it.
I just want to add that also Cancer Association, they don't at the moment have English versions, they have Greek, but I can give them more English versions. And the proceeds all go to the Cancer Association in order to help buy more equipment to help loan different people.
Wonderful. Thank you, Dione. For the Good Grapevine, this is Dione, this is Lawrence from Mykonos, Greece. Peace out. From Columbus Circle, one of the centers of the world according to some in New York City, I'd like to give a little shout out to all of you who are pet lovers in the world. Many of you know that Biscuit, the Wonder Dog, has been traveling with me for almost 2.5 years now, and nothing would be possible, from his tattoo to his 2 passports to all the questions and answers I get at 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning, sometimes just from WhatsApp, SMS, Skype, and email, to my vet, whose home base is in Puerto Rico. I think the unsung heroes in the world are those who make the world a better place by taking care of, for profit and sometimes philanthropically, of our animals. The best man and female friend on the planet. This story talks all about some unexpected parts of what it's like to be a veterinarian. Let's check in with my vet in Puerto Rico. With Dr. Jorge Delgado of Clínica Veterinaria del Este and Biscuit, this is a story of inspiration for all of you out there who love the most popular animals on the planet, our pets. Some of you know that Biscuit has traveled the world, and what made everything possible with his many paperwork packet, including a US and a Greek passport, my vet of choice, Dr. Jorge Delgado, is not only an amazing veterinarian, but he's a humanitarian. So talking to us a little bit about inspirational stories is my vet. Thank you for joining us on The Good Grapevine. And how long have you been practicing veterinary medicine in Puerto Rico?
I've been practicing Puerto Rico for 22 years.
That's amazing. Always on the East Coast?
Yes, 21 years on the East Coast.
And where did you do your schooling? Was it actually in Puerto Rico?
No, there's no vet schools in Puerto Rico, so we have to go usually into the United States, or there are some other people that will go to different parts of the world also.
Right, and where did you do yours? In the U.S.?
In the U.S., yes.
Wonderful. So one of the questions I would love to ask you for our viewers is, tell us a little bit about the humanitarian efforts you do on the island of Puerto Rico at your own time, own resources.
So I work as a volunteer for Natural Department Resources from Puerto Rico. I work on the east side of the island, and usually I take care of marine animals, and some of the animals that are in the rainforest also. So, but usually what they bring in to the office, basically I just take care of them because sometimes they are injured, so I'll just take care of them, take X-rays, weigh them. Sometimes we have to force feed them. Sometimes we have to do surgery on them, and we just make them to get well, and then usually if they can be released, then we release them back in the wild again.
That's wonderful. How long have you been doing that?
Actually, I've been doing that for like 20 years.
And in these 20 years, I love to ask you this question. What has been the most exotic, unexpected animal you've ever been asked to work on?
Well, it's been a green iguana that was run over from a car. The car just run over it. So I had to take some X-rays. We had to put a cast on the iguana. We have to put IV fluids on the iguana. So, and it's not the same as in a human. So you can get a leg for an IV. You have to put it on the ventral part of the abdomen.
And how big was this iguana? Because they go very big in Puerto Rico.
Without tail was like this big.
Oy, wow. My favorite animal in the whole world is a camel. Have you ever worked on a camel?
No.
Okay, in Puerto Rico, we're not going to find that. But I'd love to have one for the half a year that I'm there. And the third question I'd love to tell our viewers is, when I first brought Biscuit, on our very first visit, we went into your little anteroom, and there was a candle, but it wasn't on. And I asked you and your assistant, what's the candle for? How come it's not on? And it was a great story, que me dijeron, that they explained to me in Spanish.
Yeah, usually when the animals have accidents in the exam room, they had to poop in the exam room, so just to control the smell of it. So we just light it up with a candle.
So the aromatherapy candle is there for pets who maybe not have had this perfect experience as so far, knock wood, has always gone with Biscuit.
Yeah. So if something went wrong with the animal, then they just pooped.
Right. If some people are having pets and they actually want to mate their pets for some amazing career line that they want to do, that's wonderful. But do you recommend spaying and neutering pets in general?
Yes, I think spay and neutering is very important. Right now, there's so many animals. Right now, and the world is overpopulated. Not only in Puerto Rico, all over the world. And spay and neutering is a way just to control, the overpopulation. And also females will just, if you spay them, it's going to control, for them not to get mammary cancer in the future. And males, they will not run around, if they're neutered. They will just usually stay in closer areas.
Does that work with humans too, that they won't roam if you neuter them? Are there other benefits that happen if you spay and neuter the dogs and cats in the sense that it helps with temperament or helps with behavior or training or anything like that?
Usually with males in general, when you neuter the males, and they, since their testosterone is in the testicles, and you have to remove the testicles for in surgery, basically what you're going to be doing is decreasing the testosterone or not letting the testosterone go too high. So basically, some of these animals or most of these animals will not get too aggressive or too macho in that aspect. And they will not, usually male cats or male dogs will not be peeing all over the place, every corner of the house or in the cars and stuff like that, marking basically the territory.
Marking territory. Well, thank you for giving us some of the expertise of animals and all the things that you've been doing for the world. The world's a better place, I think, because of the animals in it. Biscuit would not be able to travel. One of the wonderful privileges is I have. If I see something that's a little abnormal at 3 in the morning for you, or 4 in the morning for you, or 11:30 at night for him, wherever I am on the side of the world, I can send him a picture of something that Biscuit's done, and he can tell me that's normal, or make this kind of concoction and give it to Biscuit, and everything's great. Those times have been very, very seldom. But I think in these days, humans don't have medical care practitioners on call, but I have a vet that's pretty much on call because of the type of outstanding humanitarian, human being, and veterinarian that is Jorge Delgado. Reporting for The Good Grapevine here in Puerto Rico, this is Lawrence. Many of my personal training colleague friends secretly aspire to have high-profile clients, i.e. celebrities. Let's check in with one of my favorites from West Hollywood, Jeffrey Bourneman, a certified personal trainer and life coach of PracticeLivingWell.com, whose clientele base is almost strictly high-profile celebrity clients whose base is the Hollywood Hills. Let's check in with how being a high-profile celebrity personal trainer does help one's career and bring one more notoriety and perhaps some more clients, but not in the traditional way that we might think. From West Hollywood, let's check in with Jeffrey from roving reporter Yuri Rocket.
Namaste, fitness friends. This is Yuri Rocket coming to you from West Hollywood, reporting for Good Grapevine. And today I'm reporting Jeffrey Bourneman, and Jeffrey is going to share with me some secrets since he is a celebrity personal trainer. So my first question to Jeffrey is, Jeffrey, tell me please, how is that? How does it to be a celebrity fitness trainer?
All of my clients are not celebrities, so it's not that I train differently with anybody else. What I find is that I am constantly humbled and completely privileged to be able to work in people's lives the way that they trust us as trainers to do. And it's a little bit more sensitive when it's somebody who is well known, and so then their privacy is more important and their vulnerabilities are more dangerous. And so I am always, at the end of the day, humbled to be a trainer, and to be able to be available to do what I do is very much a privilege. And I don't think it really is that much different between clients that you and I know their names because of their work, and people that are in our neighborhoods and are the people that serve our food and pick up our mail.
That's right. Jeffrey, what do you suggest to trainers, to personal trainers who actually have maybe an aspiration of train celebrities?
Mm-hmm.
How do you suggest they promote themselves?
Great question. What I normally tell young trainers that ask me about that, how do I start my business? How do I develop clientele? The truth of the matter is, if you change one person's life, help them do the work in changing their lives, because we can't change anybody's life. They can change their own. They use the tools we give them, hopefully. You will see a change in their whole community, or their whole community will see the change in them. And so then you start to get phone calls, or you go to a party, oh, you're the guru, or you're the expert, or you're the life changer. And you sort of go, yeah, I'm the trainer. And truthfully, whatever clientele you're hoping to achieve, to get to, just keep working at being a life changer in the lives of the people that are your clients. And you will evolve into a clientele, into a circle that you want to be in. Obviously, geographically, it helps you to be in the place where your dreams are, because they can't really evolve somewhere dislocated from where that is. So living in this area, there are people who are aspiring in their dreams, and so when I help them achieve their dreams, they're with me helping me achieve mine. Therefore, my goal isn't set out ever to pick a type of clientele. The people that are compliant, the people that will listen, the people that come to me and will do what they, when they ask or come with a problem, will do what I tell them to do. Those are the clients that I want. Other than that, I'm not. I would just tell you, go out and change lives. Another element of win-win that comes into mind regarding the Hollywood personal trainer that I am is that I really don't ever ask my clients to allow me to use their name. And they appreciate that discretion. And I feel like their efforts and their work that's their space, and that needs to remain safe, that we're not talking about anything outside of school, and they're not hearing about other clients either. And interestingly enough, I have had clients that didn't know they had me in common until somewhere along the way they met or realized, oh my God, we have the same trainer.
Right.
But so I never ask and I never want to use their celebrity to build my business, and my clients tend to appreciate that privacy, and in fact, are willing to pay for that. And that makes it a win for me, obviously, and hopefully the safe zone that we create makes it a win for them.
So can you kind of conclude it and tell me what is the win-win kind of here between you and your clients?
Great. I mean, I could expand in so many ways. The win-win I find is that I continue to grow as an individual right along with my clients. Sometimes in the areas that they are currently working in, I'm just steps ahead of them. And, we're just sort of taking each other on the path. And the win-win, I think, is then I, as the trainer, sit in the hub of all of these different lives and of all of these different issues, whether it's health or family or self-esteem or emotional awareness. I can sit in the middle and say, you know what's working over here? Try this, and sort of take all that we're learning together as we're walking down our paths side by side. I get to take all of that from the center and help each offer out to everyone that's there that how would I otherwise know about high cholesterol and sanitizing and cleansing and these various things that I'm going through with other people. I'm like, here, try this. You know what? How would you try that? Oh, that problem? Here's a solution. Let's see.
Right.
And so that is the win-win, that I get to continue to grow as a person and achieve the things I want to achieve out of my life. And ideally, the beauty of it is to turn around and give that to more people.
That's true.
Win, win, win.
Thank you, Jeffrey, and thank you, friends. This is Jeffrey, and this is Yuri reporting to you for the Good Grapevine from West Hollywood. Namaste.
Namaste.
What would a good grapevine story be without a story for my foodie friends? Recently, I went to Italy and checked in with a little bit of authentic, but perhaps not the healthiest in the world, food. Second story you'll see is really a dying art, how to make handmade ravioli. So if you're celiac or avoiding gluten, you probably want to skip that story. However, check out the dexterity of this woman's hands as she makes, completely without equipment, except for stamping out pasta flour, handmade raviolis, which really today can be filled with anything, and there is still the option of gluten-free pasta. First off, however, was a trip I made to the south of Italy, Puglia, to some zones of true farm lands. While I gave up eating bacon years ago, it's secretly been one of my fetishes, and I thought it would be interesting to visit a farm and see how farm to table on the same day we can go from hogs, which are vegetarian, all the way to a piece of bacon in a frying pan. Let's check in from the family of the Mitidieri, still living off of the land, and also dying art from Puglia, Italy.
My chicken and my rabbit.
Super fast. There are the hogs, and here are the baby rabbits. That's the farmer. That's the rooster, and here are the baby rabbits. Oh my goodness. Those of you that know Lawrence very well know that one of my favorite foods in the whole world is bacon, but being its saturated fat content and high cholesterol, no, it's something that I've long ago have given up unless it's a special occasion or turkey bacon. However, here in the south of Italy, with Domenico Mitidieri and his family that raises on their farm all vegetarian animals, including the pigs that produce their bacon, I find it meritorious today to say I will make an exception and try vegetarian bacon. Yes, it comes from a pig, but free range and vegetarian fed by self-sustained garden, eating the leaves from the cavolo or the cabbage and all the other grains that they grow. Let's have a look at the shrink-wrapped bacon, which in this instance is actually the neck of the pig. Domenico, let's show this. And now let's go to the kitchen and see what happens when we actually start to cut it. Cut off the skin, which is used for preserve when it is shrink wrapped, and this we do by hand. One cuts the beginning ends of the bacon until finding that it is a little more lean. Let's look at the end and see that you see much more red than fat, and then the bacon's ready to slice. A slicer, slicing the bacon, pulling it out one piece at a time, checking out the meat. So after putting in the frying pan for a little bit, it releases a lot of fat, which can be discarded or used for other purposes, including enhancing flavor of other foods. And here's a little look at my bacon from the neck of a vegetarian-raised, free-range maiale or pig. Interesting how old traditions can be healthier than some of the newfangled ideas of some of the American fast foods that we think about today. Reporting for the Good Grapevine from Latronico in the south of Italy, this is Lawrence.
Prendi, gira, e un po' di farina.
Farina, you spread it there, you spread it out, you roll it out before you do the second batch. How cool is that? And in the impasto, which could be whole wheat and had flavoring, is just flour and a little oil and a little salt. So inside is ricotta and caciotta and
Parmigiano.
Uova.
And one egg, a fresh egg from the garden, and a little bit of marjoram. And then you mix it all up. And then this is the impasto that you make like pizza. And then with the forchetta, the fork, notice how this is putting it together. And then to close, you roll it that way. And then all by hand, no machine, no frozen, close, 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 close.
This stampino.
And then the little stampino machine, and out you have your own fresh raviolo. And you have more than one ravioli. One raviolo is a couple ravioli. How cool is that? A lost art, a lost tradition. The impasto is similar to pizza, but it's different, and it could even be integrale, whole wheat. When looking at a country, it's almost easy to pull out or prove anything regard to that country's climate, and when looking at any country, it's almost easy to prove when looking at any country, it's perhaps easy to prove anything in terms of that country based on how one musters one's facts. For example, one's political or economic climate we can prove to be favorable or unfavorable. Checking in with what most people would agree is definitely a country in economic crisis, Greek. My best friend, Mary Califolia, tells us a little bit of what it's like to have worked for an American company in Greece for 35 years, to see what it's like having friends whose jobs are slashed and working out after retirement in a country of political crisis. Let's check in to Athens, Greece. I'm here at one of my very favorite places in the whole planet, Greece, with one of my favorite people on the whole planet, Mary Califolia. And Mary, many of my friends and those who don't know me may have heard that I have property in Mykonos, an island in the Aegean, and along with Santorini and Rhodes, I think the newlyweds, the nearly deads, and everyone in between always come to the Greek islands and spend their money. However, nevertheless, many people say, Lawrence, how is the Greek crisis? And we can't really understand on the islands what's going on mainland Greece, from Athens all the way up to the north of Greece, and you live in Athens. Can you tell us a little bit about the current economic situation in your country, not for tourists or the islands, but in mainland Greece?
Well, in mainland there are great problems. The biggest problem is very, very heavy taxes and unemployment, and many young people are not able to work. So this is the greatest problem, I should say. From the other side, there are people that they should pay taxes and they don't declare anything, and the heavy taxes go to those who really declare, and they're not as rich as the ones that don't pay. There are no rules in Greece, and government is not taking care of that. They don't follow any rules. They have they're just moving the way they want.
And in your lifetime, you've seen laws very recently change, haven't you? For
Yes.
example, you worked for a company for over 40 years. It promised you work for this many years and a pension. And then, like many people who work for different jobs, their pensions from one day to the next could be cut and cut again and cut again because the government says
Yes.
it's a change.
My pension was cut 60%, although I paid for 42 years all this money. And the Social Security is not good, and also other things are not good. I mean, education, hospitals. So you have to have your own private insurance and take care of yourself with this little money that they give you.
And when you walk around the streets, what do you see in terms of unemployment or businesses or crisis or recession? Could you notice it from years ago that something is different?
Yes, you can notice it. There are places that have shut down, business that they shut down, that they run many years, and they were running their people that they were running their business very well, and now they can't even hold this business. So that's the main problem. But in the islands there is no problem, because there we have the tourism and the tourists, and money keeps going and coming, and also undeclared money, and that's why you don't feel there anything.
Correct. And last question. When I first went to Greece, there was the drachma, and now they're part of the euro. And every time we turn on the news for international CNN, we hear Greece is going to vote to stay in the euro, go back to the drachma, or adopt a different system. For now, it seems to be that Europe and Greece is going to stay with the euro, don't you think?
Yes, and I think we would be very lucky to stay in euro, although I'm not a politician and I'm not very familiar with all that.
You're not?
But, not really. But I think we would be very lucky if we stay in Europe. Otherwise, it's going to be a disaster for years.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, from the place that gave us all, and most of the Western world, democracy and that follow it, Greece, here, Lawrence reporting for the Good Grapevine. On behalf of everyone, I can say we wish Mary and all of the Greek citizens successful economic recovery swiftly.
Thank you, Lawrence.
So that concludes the 7th edition of The Good Grapevine, all the news that's fit to share from Puerto Rico, Italy, Greece, and beyond. If you found any of these stories of merit, please comment, share, tag, like, email me please, Lawrence@FindLawrence, if you know of a story from something inspirational, motivational, educational that you would like to bring to the viewers for The Good Grapevine. Shoot it horizontally and shoot it in 3 minutes or under, and let me know. Please, remember, it's easy to find out what's wrong with the world when you turn on CNN, Fox, and everybody else. But the Good Grapevine tries to share some of the reasons why we're here to spread energy, love, and light. Peace out.